So, hi everyone. I wanted to do a quick session on firefighting in high growth teams. So, I've been working with a couple of teams recently who are going through massive high growth. So, they are doubling up, and their businesses are growing at an extraordinary rate. And it's absolutely fantastic. However, what that means is that they are in this kind of firefighting mode. They're feeling overwhelmed. And what's happening is their existing processes and tools that were working perfectly well 6 months ago are no longer working for them because they've changed the scale of things. So they've taken on bigger clients, they've taken on bigger projects, or they've taken on more projects, more clients. And so the pipeline that they've got is it's getting backed up. And it leads to stress, and it leads to drop in productivity, drop in morale, and things like this. So, we need to be really careful when we're growing businesses that we keep that sustainable pace. And that's what this session's all just going to talk briefly about today. So what we need to do to create that same sustainable pace is that we need to make sure that we've got visibility of the work going on. And that's what Agile is really great at doing. So it's really great at putting the writing on the wall and allowing us to take stock of actually what's going on, where things are moving smoothly and where things are a bit choppy, where are the blocks and barriers, what are causing delays, where there are skills gaps, where there are capacity gaps, capability gaps, all the different gaps and impediments and things that are going on, the disruptions, the ad hoc work particularly is one that I see in so many teams. And what this does is, by getting this out, it actually gives us this visual of actually what is the mix of work, what is going on, and what is happening at the moment. And that in itself can relieve pressure. So actually just getting the writing on the wall and feeling like we've got it in some kind of order is really, really great. So often when I'm working with teams, we'll be putting a pipeline of projects up on the wall. I'm getting the post-it notes out, and it was like, right, what's the pipeline you've got going on at the moment? What's happening in leads and sales, pre-production? What's going on in production? What's going on in post-production? And where are these projects in your pipeline? And that is really, really powerful, just to get it out on the wall so that we can start to see, and we can start to see where are there some issues, any things going on. That, as I say, is really, really useful. The other big thing that I like to do with teams that are going through extreme high growth is to do a retrospective. So to be able to stop and kind of say, okay, guys, what is our mission here? Are we going in the right direction? Is this working? What's putting the wind in our sails? What's taking us forward? What's going really, really well? But what are the anchors holding us back? What are those challenges that are holding us back? And then look at how we can raise those anchors. So how can we bring those anchors up a notch that allows us for our ship to move forward again? Because, under the weight of the extra work, it's really slowed us down, and therefore, we need to look at how we can streamline and adapt and evolve again. So these little +1s are really great for them feeding through into what I often call a continuous improvement board. So it's a really nice way of introducing Agile to a team as well, if they're not Agile, is to create a project board, an Agile project board, which has a backlog of these continuous improvement things. So these are things that we can do that will help to improve our systems and our processes, improve our workflow, our productivity, our growth, our well-being, all these little things that we like to do and that need doing, or suggestions for ideas that need doing. We can capture those, and then as a team, we can look at how can we buy ourselves some slack. So at the moment, we're running 120%. How do we get that down to 100%? What are the things that we need to do to bring us back down? Now, that might be bringing more people in. It might be getting a new server. It might be updating things. It might be changing the way we do things. It might be standardizing some things. It might be innovating on other things. There are lots of different ways that we might be looking at, but also if we can get those improvement ideas visible, then it opens it up to conversations. People start talking about things, they start to see the impacts of different things and giving their feedback and their feed in on that. So that can be really, really useful. I worked with a team once and they were literally, I mean, gosh, they were more like 150% capacity. They were absolutely firefighting. They were, and it's something I hear all the time, Belinda, we don't have time to improve. You know, we're just so busy getting the day job done. So it is this really kind of good way of saying, okay, what is a day job? What is going on? So with this team, for example, one of their biggest impediments was the server kept crashing. So because they'd grown, the server wasn't handling, you know, the number of people on it anymore, the amount of information it was coping with. Tech support were just spending their whole day trying to keep the server alive. So they weren't doing anything else. And the rest of the team were losing hours and hours and hours of time waiting on the server. So as soon as we were able to visualize that and make that visible, and we also then kind of did basically recorded for a couple of days. Anytime that you experience downtime, log it. And after a couple of days, they took that list to the MD of that company and they were like, we need to upgrade the server. And it was immediately actioned. And so that just bought them some time, really, you know, quite straightforward. You know, we wouldn't have just been able to go, we need a new server. That wasn't going to work. We needed to log that and show that and validate that so that we could show that to Paul, and Paul would go, yeah, I get that. Okay, no worries. I can see the return on investment there. So these this idea of a continuous improvement board, I think, is a really great way to introduce Agile, but also for existing Agile teams as well. It's a really great kind of thing to do to make sure that, okay, you know, okay, yeah, we're doing the day job, but actually, are we standing back? Are we changing an improvement? Doing those improvements that mean, you know, 80% of our time, yes, is day to day, but 20% of our time is change and improvement. And by using Agile and visualizing our work, we can actually start to force that a little bit more and say, okay, we've planned our slack, you know, we've planned our sprint, what's our capacity for continuous improvement work this sprint. And some sprints we might not have capacity because deadlines are looming and we need to be all hands on the day to day, but other times we can build in that capacity for change and improvement. So that's a brief few minutes on using Agile in high growth teams. I've got, gosh, tons of stories that I would love to share. And so do give it a like if you found this interesting and you'd like to hear more on kind of customer journeys, pipelines, roadmaps, getting that work out there, that kind of sustainable pace, creating that visibility and clarity. Really great for engaging with the customer as well. So I tend to start internally, but, you know, using Agile externally as well with our partners, with our suppliers, with our customers is so powerful. So I'd love to talk more about it. So any questions you've got, please let me know. So I've been Belinda from Being Agile. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Please do give it a like and a subscribe if you have got this far, and do watch some more videos and let me know if there's anything particular you'd like to see. Thanks.